Good morning, everyone. Hey, it's Amy and Kate.
Good morning. We're awake.
We're
ready to go.
Ready to roll. Today's the day. If you've been excited about DIY Design Day, this is it. We're getting ready to roll with you today.
Yes, we're going to have about 6 hours live on Facebook today. We're going to be recreating these kits that we have for you. They're like paint by numbers for floral design. So you'll be able to watch how the kit is made, say, you know what, I can do that. Purchase the kit online and recreate it at home. You can watch the Facebook replay videos. They'll also be available on YouTube later. So that way you have access to the beautiful design, how to make it, and you'll flex your creative muscles.
Aha. Well, we all want creative muscles.
We do. It's good to work those things out.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I am ready to roll. We've got our coffee this morning. I'm getting my wires all taped and ready. We have a beautiful collection staged behind us today.
Yes. We're starting with Cozy Up.
We are. Now, Cozy Up, if you're not familiar with it, is one of our 3 fall collections. We have one for each color group. So we've got ideas for you today in this light, pale ode to fall that's very subtle and serene, and we're going to start with that color group, make all kinds of shapes and designs. This one we'll be starting with will be a garland today.
Hey, good morning, Stephanie, Jenny, Linda's saying hello, Kim,
Hi,
Debbie,
everyone.
Tammy, Jan, Christine. Good morning. Thank you for saying hello.
Oh,
Coffee
and
down.
I've already spilled something today. That's right. Here's a rag.
I have a rag here too, Mom.
We are taping wires. I could start with that information for you.
Let's start there. At least it wasn't all your coffee. That would be a real problem.
It wasn't all my coffee. This is not the most secure lid, however. So good save. We still have coffee. Thank you. And we have a cleanable floor. This is going to be
the first time you've dropped
action-packed day. No, if you watch me long enough, you know that I'm always a little klutzy. We have
just a little
floral tape in 2 colors today. I don't know which color I'm going to want to use, so I am pre-taping some wires. There are lots of things we sell in our online store for stems and florals, but we also sell some supplies. So today we're going to be, you'll be able to buy a 5-pack set of 22 gauge floral wire, just like this one. You would need your own tape. We don't sell the floral tape, but I do coat and cover my 22 gauge wires with floral tape for a lot of these projects to keep our wires nice and tacky, and that sort of creates a better, more secure wiring scenario when you're trying to put together these wired items. So just holds better, looks a little neater, and you wrap it by bending your tape around and starting at an extreme angle and rolling your tape into the wire while holding your tape taut. Believe me, it's a little bit of a trick. I might need to recap that later.
It's a trick to even say it. Good
It is.
morning, everyone. We have lots of people saying good morning to us. Thank you for saying hello. I love to see who's hopping on in the mornings. Terry already, or should I say TT, already placed a DIY order this morning. She said, perhaps today I may order more.
Well, hey, it's a little earlier over there on the East Coast. So.
We do have about 30 kits for you to choose from today. And like I said, it's like paint by numbers for floral design. You get all the components you need in order to recreate the piece. And all you do is put it together, and you can even follow Mom's videos here today in replay to recreate them. And Stephanie said, my husband said, let's go to the winery today. I said, I can't. Amy and Kate are on. Maybe later.
I don't know.
Wow, sacrifices.
How about if I go to the winery? That sounds really good. I love it.
Oh, fun.
Hello,
Dana's sitting on the back porch enjoying the cool breeze and magnolias. We're so happy to have you on.
Good.
Robin said, one quick question. I want to order a kit from the last DIY. How do I find the video to follow to put it together? You can find it on YouTube or Facebook. If it's from the last DIY weekend, it would be a buried video for sure, since we go live so much. Probably YouTube's easier to find it. But these videos, once we get done posting them here for DIY weekend, we go and add timestamps so you know exactly when to skip forward to find your particular piece that you're recreating at home.
You're going to get that done.
I am.
Well, the first piece we're going to design today is going to be a garland. We're starting out with an easy item. They'll be easy and more challenging challenging items, I'll let you know with each one what I would gauge the level of complexity at. Starting out easy, we don't want to scare anybody off, right?
And these kits are 15% off. So the sale today is 15% off Everyday and Fall Stems and 15% off Amy's signature kits. So we're going to start with the Very Stinkin' Cute Garland kit.
Who named this one?
Kayla. The regular price on a kit like this is $110. The sale price today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th, is $93. So $93 for 2 days, and you can recreate this look at home. The kit includes, I'll let you take it apart before I give you the spiel of everything.
This is a simple kit. It only has 4 components.
Yes. 3 styles.
So,
it includes the cream magnolia leaf garland. This is a new piece that we just got in. Cream magnolia leaf garland, a brown mix berry garland.
Incidentally, this is also weatherproof.
And 2 brown maple leaf sprays.
And these could be outdoor safe too. So in fact, this entire product could be an outdoor safe item if you wanted to add that.
I'll make a note. Optional add-on of floral wire. We sell them for a bundle of 5 wires. They're on sale today for $1.28. So if you need floral wire, we do have that linked. I'll drop a link to the entire kit, and when you click on the link, you will have access to all of the products that are used if you want to cherry pick items as well.
So with the garlands, we are going to lay them together, but we have 2 different lengths. The magnolia leaf garland is a 48 or 49 inch long garland. All the leaves are wired on the back of the leaves. Each one is wired very movable into this plastic tubing kind of base. I like this structure because it doesn't scratch things if you want to lay this on your table. Then we have the berry garland, which is a little bit longer. So we're just going to have to center it, and that's what the leaves are going to do that I'm adding in. The maple leaves will add a little bit of length behind the berries that stick out behind, out to the ends of the magnolia. Now, one thing I like to do with my garlands when I lay them together is each garland always has like a stem end. Here would be the example of the stem end. And this one, here's the nicely finished end, but back here is the stem end. Now, these never are helpful with my garland designs because if you want to lay it on a table, you certainly don't want to see this sticking out. So what I do whenever I'm arranging garlands is I take the stem end and I don't cut it off, but instead I bend it backwards, forcing the first set of leaves or whatever is on the garland to become the new end. Do you see how we did that? So it's just tucked behind there, and now these leaves are purposefully sticking out to create a new stem-free finished end. We're going to do that with the berries also.
That's one of the most useful tips that I learned at an early age that I have used for every single season of designing.
That's true, because now we have, instead of a ragged little naked end, we have the berries becoming the end for us there.
Very smart.
Okay, so that's how we're arranging it. We're going to stack them with the berries on top of the magnolia. So again, I need to double check so that I have an equal amount sticking out each end here. And what you want to do is fan open the magnolia garland so that when you go to lay your berries into it, that the berries are going to run along the stems. You're stacking the stems. You don't want to squish a leaf in between there. You want the leaves to pop out and around, evenly balanced. So I'm kind of pulling some leaves left and right and working that berry stem down the center of the magnolia garland. Not hard at all. And for the most part, it lays together pretty nicely, but we will, after we get all the components in, add some wire to ensure it stays put. Thanks everybody for jumping on while you're joining us. This is DIY Design Day. If you didn't know it, we will not only have the first hour that we always do on Saturday mornings, but we'll have an additional hour in this segment designing the floral arrangements that you see behind me. And Kate will make sure you have the links to get your items in your cart today. We also started a sale that Kate can tell you about.
We did. So for DIY Weekend, which is our event that we are now hosting every season, which is kind of nice, we do 15% off stems and kits. So kits are kind of newer to us, It's essentially a bundle of items added to your cart so you can recreate these pieces at home. So if you add this kit to your cart, the Berry Stinkin' Cute Garland kit, you are going to get a magnolia leaf garland, the berry garland, 2 maple leaf stems in your order. And we have optional add-ons like floral foam, sheet moss, floral wire today, and all of those are linked in the product description. So if you're saying, you know, I don't need the full garland, but I really want that magnolia leaf, that is also linked in the product description of the kit. So we make it really easy for you to shop, and you'll be able to recreate these designs at home or jazz them up a little bit with your own creative touch. Maybe you need some plum or blue. Yeah, you can definitely customize it however you see fit, which is so nice. So, good morning, Mary. She said, my husband told me today he was going to take pics of how pretty the things are from your store. Oh, funny. And then a picture of the outbuilding to say, this is where we store it all.
I think you should. I think you should share that. Now, the VIP page is where all of our friends are posting pictures of the things they designed. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of VIP posts after you get your kits and create these designs. That is the private Facebook group that you're welcome to join.
Maria's saying good morning from the UK.
Hi,
Robert's
good morning.
in North Mississippi. Good morning, Linda. She'll be at the store helping everyone today. Robin asked, is there a way to keep the website open while we're watching? Maybe some people in the comments would be better suited to actually answer that question, Flower Family. I think a lot of people have 2 devices. Is that maybe
That's probably
the
what's
case?
happening. I know a lot of our followers tell us they sit with an iPad on their lap and maybe a laptop or their TV cast from their phone, something like that.
Yes.
So notice how I'm going to shape these leaves. This is a little bit important. We're taking a stem that comes to you looking like this. We're taking the lower segment of leaves. It is all completely wired. You won't break it. And we're bending it down so that we've now created 2 very elongated leaf sections. There we go. And these are going to be helping to back. We're going to put the stem end in. And on this one, we're going to put the stem end in. These are going to go behind the whole situation here and will be a backer for the leaves that extend off the end of the magnolia garland. So we just want to arrange that right behind there. Now we're about ready for wire.
Oh, yep. It looks like everyone's kind of doing 2 device things. Carol has her phone and iPad. Oh, yes, the garland. So the sale today is just on stems and everyday and fall stems and kits is the sale today. So in order to get the sale, you'll want to purchase the kit.
What happens with the bows?
Restructured when we moved to the web, or not website. Where did we do?
Warehouse. We're at the warehouse.
Yes. Dana said the turkey you showed yesterday would be so pretty tucked into that with some candlesticks. It so would. I showed them the new turkey with a little bit of sparkle.
That turkey was selling at the store yesterday.
Yes.
I thought it was very pretty.
Yes.
Okay, now here we are. Time to start adding a little bit of wire. We're going to use one of those brown taped wires. You could, of course, use an untaped wire. It's not the end of the world. That's just a professional little tip that I like to share with you because it creates a clean finish. So the wire is only needed maybe in 5 locations across this garland. Sometimes you don't even need wire if you are hoping to disassemble it. Once you've maybe laid it out on your mantle and you don't touch it.
My Christmas garland I don't wire together. I just lay it out on that ledge. Everything's kind of poked into it. And I change it every single year, so it's kind of handy. And I think I'm going to change the actual base this year.
All right. Well, you can also just twist these things into each other a little bit. So I can take the maple leaf and sort of twist it around
Watch
the berries.
the end of your garland so it doesn't bump the camera there.
I see that. And it looks like it's headed that way.
It's coming. It's coming for it. Oh, good. Ruth said, thank you for the time and effort you take for DIY Weekend. It's amazing. You make it fun and easy to follow. Well, thank you.
Good. Ruth would know. She's a longtime Floral family member and a designer extraordinaire, right, Ruth?
Yes. You know, and Kayla was really very helpful in getting it all ready. She was the one that was putting the kits in the system, going back and linking every single item we use in the kits so you can easily find them if you need to cherry pick. So she was definitely, and Natalie was photographing everything, so it takes a whole team.
So there are some kits that will have suggestions of vases and containers, bows that could be added. So now I am pulling a little bit of the berry and the magnolia and the leaves all up to make them look, let me flip this around and show you, fluffy and more integrated. Here, there you go.
Looks
so
great.
It's blended. And then the pieces that we bent back for the maple leaf sort of make it towards the middle. If you wanted this fuller, more maple leaves, you might want to add a third stem, but I was trying to keep the cost down and not go beyond what is absolutely necessary, but for a fuller look, you could put one more in here. I'll finish it and you can be the judge.
Okay. Debbie's shipping to Canada is automatically calculated at checkout. It's not as easy as shipping in the US, so if anyone in Canada has good suggestions on cheap shipping, do let me know. So it's automatic at checkout. Hi, Julia. She said, thank you for the weekend. We all love and appreciate you so much. Well, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
It takes a lot of prep work.
It does, but we appreciate you hanging out with us today to make it all worth it.
I feel like we should do kits, not just on DIY weekend. We should make kits all the time.
We should make kits all the time.
It's kind of fun because a lot of you guys are recreating Mom's designs already. It'd be nice if they were in kit form for you.
That's true. Well, we
Yes.
can dedicate more of Kayla's time.
Yeah.
Poor Kayla.
Ruth said, no, Amy, longtime follower, but not creative. You are the master.
You are too kind. Okay, so I've made sure here that I secured the stem end of my maple leaf garland. The wire came all the way back here, so I locked it in. I did leave the full length of that maple leaf stem. Oh, here's the other one. And this is why it will stabilize the garland and make it stronger, because the maple leaf is pretty sturdy. So by leaving the stem on it, the garland became, instead of being more wimpy and flopping around, the stabilization of a heavier stem wired to the back makes it very, very sturdy. So if you wanted to hang it around the corner of a doorway with the addition of this maple leaf, the strength of it will actually make it bend into a corner shape and stay that way. You can see how it's holding its shape. I am going to need, like, oh, here it is, a little towel so my tools don't.
Kayla said, can I have a word in that idea?
I know, Kayla's probably going to need to say something about that. She was working pretty hard.
Yeah, Nita, good morning. She got us on time. She said, you're the best of the bestest. She's learning. Good morning,
Well,
Janet.
good.
Hi, Donna.
We're just about there. I'm going to add, oh, it looks like I need 2 more wires, so that is a total of 5 wires.
5 full wires, or you're cutting
Oh,
them?
no, pieces. I
Yeah.
am just cutting them into little pieces.
So you're maybe
which
using
I'm
like 2
dropping.
wires. That's all right. I'm sure we'll find them. So,
At most, 2 wires.
FYI, we are going to be live for 2 hours, an hour break, live again for 2 hours, an hour break, and live for another hour and a half.
So can
until
you say the
4:30.
times in Central Time?
Yes, in Central Time, it's 9 to 11, 1 to 3, and no, 1 to 2, and 3 to 4:30 is the times of the day in Central Time. And these items are on sale. I see many of you have already purchased kits, but we have purposely made kits with deep inventory items. So
Right.
don't stress. You can place your order at the end of the day. We should have plenty to go around. We were very mindful of the pieces that we were using
Yes.
to make sure that they weren't selling out super quick for you. And luckily, the team busted their butts yesterday getting 6 pallets of new
They did.
items checked in and online. So you're actually going to see some kits made with brand new pieces we haven't even talked about yet.
And this magnolia garland is a recent arrival.
Yay!
As well as the berry. We also have a coordinating maple or a magnolia leaf spray. And we could use that one. We could do that one next.
Yeah.
Okay, group, well, let's take a look here. We could spend a bit more time shaping, but to be honest, it's always better when you shape it into the place you're displaying it. For instance, if this was laying on a fireplace mantle, oh, we should have cleared space for it.
I guess so.
You could then tip all your leaves down over the edge of the mantle. This is going to arrange nicely.
Yes, Ruth, 12 to do. Thank you. Let me finish my coffee and then I'll be really on it. At least she's paying attention for me. Good morning, Sharon. What a fun day, she said. Kathy said it would look good over the mirror in the back of you. Yeah, I would look good at the mirror at my house, too.
That's true.
Yes.
So this is now actually 6 feet long. The magnolia garland is 48 inches, but with the berry garland being 6 feet and the backing of the leaves behind it, we've completed a 6-foot garland, if you need to put that in the description.
I should note that, well, it depends on how they recreate it. I should note, if you want the magnolia leaf full to the ends, you can purchase just 2 of the magnolia leaf stems and you could add them to the ends.
That
if you wanted
is true.
To extend the bulkiness.
Let me show you what the
rather
magnolia
than
leaf
tapering it off. Oh yeah, you have it right there. Perfect.
I do. So we're going to design this little companion tabletop piece, and as I disassemble this, I can show you the individual magnolia leaves that could be used to make it beefier towards the end and fuller at the ends. This way it's sort of tapering from magnolia leaves into berries and maple leaves. There you see it.
Very nice. So again, This is the Berry Stinkin' Cute Garland Kit. It's on sale today for only $93, and it features 1 magnolia leaf garland, 1 brown mixed berry garland, 2 brown maple leaf sprays. We also have linked in the description optional floral wire if you need it. It's on sale.
Right.
It's usually only $1.50. So
Where are we hanging this?
that's a very good question. Maybe to the side there.
I think I just need a hook, but maybe I can just bend this to hook right here.
Okay. Can you reach? She's kind of short. So then the next item up is going to be the coordinating piece for the garland. Anyone have any questions on the beautiful garland kit? The sale is 15% off all everyday and fall stems and 15% off all of the kits.
So here's our finished results. We're going to, and the reason I'm disassembling these things, one time on these DIYs, we were making duplicates of everything, but I do not want to commandeer any more product away from our inventory than necessary. So that's why I'm going to disassemble my samples, lay out the components, and reassemble my swag.
This is called the Fall Memories Swag Kit. The regular price is $48, and the optional add-on for this kit is, of course, the floral wire if you do need it. It's on sale for the 7th and 8th, 15% off, making it $41. And we'll go through. Are you ready to go through all the pieces? So this is a new one. This is the Natural Look Bendy Vine. It's a new piece we just got in. Everyday stem, but it's really, really nice for the designs. We've used it in like 6 designs.
So it's a bendy vine that has all kinds of little textural, thick and thin areas and little tendrils coming off the center, which is different than ones we've had recently. So this is recently arrived. We are trying to keep all bendy vine in stock, but I grabbed this new one because some of our favorites won't be in till January.
Then we have the Autumn Grasses bundle.
So this comes bundled up at this length with a little raffia cord around it. I just took the bundle apart and it gave me 3 pieces.
We have 2 cream magnolia leaf picks.
And that would be the size of these picks. I did cut the ends a little shorter here, but this would be what you could add onto the garland, 1 on each end, if you wanted to create a more leafy length to that garland.
And 1 brown mixed berry pick.
This is a weatherproof pick, I should add. They mean that they can go outside, get wet, and be in the elements.
Okay. Let's see how this all gets put together.
I am going to say that, of course, this has been pre-shaped a little bit, but all these leaves are going to be pushed upright. Whoops, I just pulled that one out of the socket. And you will want to fan and bend them out so that when we put them end to end, you have made a complete, even background. So here I'm kind of bending a couple pieces down and fanning them out. We can do the same with this one, and they will go end to end, meeting in the middle here. We're going to stack all of our stems and then do a final wire at the end. So that would be both ends. Now you could push them together to make this much shorter or pull them apart to make it longer, depending. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle right there. Then we're laying in these 3 fun little stems. This is a plastic stem, 100% plastic, but it works nicely to help lighten up and create a more airy look to it here. So we're going to put one going each direction again. And then the third one is deliberately going to bend up and give us some lift in the middle. Let me spiral this so you can see here. Still stacking, but this one's deliberately meant to stand up and curve in. We're going to use this with our vine to create a pretty loop on our tray. And the tray is somewhere around me here. I believe behind you is the one we used to photograph it.
Oh, I was thinking, is this the large?
I think that's
yeah,
the
this
one.
is the large. So yes, I did drop a link to this tray. Someone was wondering what we used.
And here's our berry stem. There's 3 segments. We're going to take one of the segments and bend it back so that now we have an even little piece left to right, and that's going to lay in the center here as well. Still haven't got our wire on it, but it's looking something like this. Of course, the best result is always at the end when you wire it down. Now this piece is going to end up abstract, so it will be difficult to just make it form exactly like I'm forming it, but that's okay because the point is just that it's a little wild abstract piece of bendy vine that gives some interest and dimension. So I'm just going to cut or put the stem end one direction, doesn't matter which way, and create kind of a loop here. So there's a couple of long pieces. You want to have your wire ready to go, because once you get this in position, just forming a couple of loops. Here we formed one loop, it wants to go that way. I'm going to take this and form a second loop. Doesn't have to be a pretty loop, doesn't have to be anything specific in size unless you're trying to do something. This is going to just look great with pumpkins, and I'm going to make sure that my upright flower is snugged right up into those loops. Before I put my wire around, let me hold that so you can see. The flower, I slid it next to my loop. It's going upright. These we can always shape and move around as we go. The big thing is getting your wire in there where your hand is and securing that while you have it in place the way it suits your eye, right? So we're using brown taped wire. It will hide in there, matching right into the bendy vine. This one I'm not going to worry about putting any kind of hanger. I don't think it should hang. It's going to look a little awkward with the loop if you try to hang it, but it's great for the table piece that we're going to show with a pumpkin or two. Which pumpkin do you think we need? Do you want to try any of these in this box of new pumpkins? I meant to kind of see what would be different. Okay, I think this only needs 2 wires. They're going to be spaced about 2 inches apart, catching everything in just 2 wires. Okay. So this is just using, I haven't even used a complete wire to tape this down. I just used about half or 2/3 of it. So here we have a loop. The berries, they're just secured, but they're not shaped. Here's how the back looks. Wire here, about 2 inches apart. So our best result now with anything that you're wiring is going to come from how you shape it. And that's always the part that gives you the most professional finish, is getting good at shaping. We need to get a t-shirt.
What does this one say? Oh, it doesn't say it on the back.
No,
our fall shirt.
This one says fall is my favorite color.
Yeah.
If you like our shirts. We don't have the camera reversed. That's something I meant to do. Let's tell you we should reverse our camera.
I can do that at any point if you want.
I'm lifting these berries, popping them up a little bit, shaping them into the center. I'm not too worried about how full the center is or isn't, because we're going to lay some pumpkins on a tray with it. So we can just make sure our magnolia leaves have some oomph to them. Pull them back into the design a little bit by shaping them in towards the middle. I love these new leaves. They are fabric, but the printing on the fabric gives them the mottled color variation. Okay, Let's see how it looks on the tray.
Beautiful. So that's the completed design. That is the kit. And again, that one, I already forgot the name, is the Fall Memories Swag Kit for $48. You get all the components and you recreate that design at home. This is the large mango wood tray that it's featured in. I did drop a link earlier, and I can actually add a link to the product description so you have it.
We have a new box of mini mixed gourds and pumpkins. Look at the color palette. Isn't it perfect? So we have a couple different things that would look so good with it. This is a companion item. I don't know that if pumpkins are part of our sale or not.
No, they're not.
They are not. Okay, so
Simply stems. Because
recently arrived pumpkin combination. Let's tuck a few of those little babies in there and see how it arranges in the end here.
I am linking the tray in the product description as well. So in the product description, the kit description I should say, all the items that we used are linked.
Look, we can feature a little gourd right up there in the middle, perched on top of the berries. Bless you. There's how many pieces in this set? I'll hand you the box.
A lot.
Maybe it says.
You can't read the label.
Nope.
It says 9 pieces.
Just enough.
Just enough. Good morning, everyone. Lots of people saying hello this morning.
Hi, everybody.
Chilly in North Carolina. It's chilly here, too. It feels amazing outside.
It's a beautiful fall day.
Yes.
It feels like fall.
Jan got 2 boxes. She hasn't even gotten to open them yet. And I got a notification my order shipped. I think the UPS man thinks I have an addiction.
I'm sure your UPS man has seen it all.
Yeah.
I really do. I think these guys probably have stories to tell.
Oh, Mary has this shirt. She loves it, and she said they're so soft.
Good. I think we recently restocked, or is it
we are
coming?
restocking.
It is
yes,
restocking.
I'm waiting to hear back. I was actually just thinking I saw the XL and from XL, 2X, and 3X are either at the store or sold out, so I will add to my order a little bit. But Sandy, there is an XL at the store, so I just put it on their list to have them bring it here, so I'll let you know when those are available.
Okay, what do you think? So this is a great companion piece if you wanted to do the garland on your mantle, add this to a nearby table or buffet, it would absolutely work and coordinate. I love this box of pumpkins so much. There is a limited supply of these ombre pumpkins, maybe 3 of those would also look really pretty in the tray as well. And then a new pumpkin that just arrived, really good abstract shape. This little guy is kind of a green-orange combination. It's probably the same one we had last year because I love it so much, and it just showed up. It would be a bit more vibrant. These are muted, and these are muted.
I'll drop a link to all pumpkins so you have them. If you're in the market for a good pumpkin, who isn't?
Let's grab this thing, and also, I don't want to forget to do that porch pot. We're working our way up to
Well, you got 2
harder
designs
items.
done in 30 minutes, Ruth said, so you're
I'm cranking right
gas.
along. I'm cranking right along. So this piece, before I disassemble it, is also considered easy. We're still on easy, I think. And we love this little cider pumpkin spray so much. I think that's what it's called. We'll let Kate tell us. Okay.
Yes, it is.
And this drop-in is a great companion for this little mini pottery vase that Kate will tell you about. You want it?
I always forget the name.
I don't know the name of it.
I always forget the name of this one, and when I hear it, I say, oh, yeah.
It comes in more than one size, and these stems are not cut. I'm going to cut them now for you and show you a trick about cutting stems.
It's the Copen vase. We do have it in 2 sizes. Today we are using the small size. The small size is only $12, so it's a fantastic price point.
Oh, that's great. Okay,
Yes.
well that is going to be a cost-effective little piece that you can use for every season.
Let me find this kit, and we will get it linked here.
Okay, I just
have a lot of
dropped
kits.
one of these pieces.
Here it is, the Cozy Pumpkin Drop-In Kit. Okay, are we ready?
We are.
All right, so the Cozy Pumpkin Drop-In Kit is regular price of $40. This kit includes the beige cattail grass bundle.
It is a combination of plastic and, I don't know, a little fuzzy material here on these little cattails.
The green-brown Real Touch Fern Bush.
This comes in 3 colors. We're going to use a different colored one coming up, but this is a really pretty fall, dark leaf.
The golden eucalyptus spray, that's a new one.
It is. It's really light. The fabric is almost sheer and very wired.
And the cozy cider stem.
Very cute little pumpkins. Great detail with the jute cording. Love the look of that on a hand wrapped stem here.
Optional add-ons are floral wire and bendy vine.
So the bendy vine, oh yes, I have some underneath me here. We're going to use some bendy vine today. It's linked for you. And you know, if you've been following us a long time, you know what I am talking about when I say bendy vine. We're going to use that to wrap our stems up. This is the uncut, unopened package of our cream wrapped stem bundle, and you can see that this is a multi-strand piece. Maybe you can share the price of this.
Yeah, it's on sale for $16.50.
It's going to be great for any season. They are stranded. I don't even know how many strands are in here.
A lot.
But you can see how they are varied in length. They have, some pieces have offshoots on them, some are longer than others, but there's a lot of material here, especially when you're only using 1 or 2 strands to wrap your design, which will be what we can do today. Just let's grab a pretty good size strand like this one, and that's how we will finish our drop in to make it nice and tidy and also a little extra mechanically sound. Now these pieces I had bent for the purpose of showing you this little trick. A paper wrap stem, when cut, is going to get shabby and unwind very quickly. This is just a lightly wrapped paper. If you were to mess with it quite a bit, it would just start unraveling. So I am dipping that in pan glue, which is off to the side here. We don't sell pan glue, but we do use it in our design. It's little pieces of pellets of glue that melt in a tiny, basically an Amazon Homecraft mini frying pan. And that is going to give you glue that you don't have to use your hands to get out. So that works. This is just going to dry and seal in the ends of the taped situation so it doesn't unravel. Let's do that also with this little stem. Just needed 1 inch or so cut off. The other one needed about 4. This one took off about 2 inches to fit this vase. And of course, you're going to want to cut these when you've figured out what vase you're using. This piece is fine. This piece we will leave bundled and it will not unravel, so I'm just going to cut off 2 inches off the bottom of that. I'm going to need a good pliers. Somehow these little wires are pretty sturdy. I use a side cutters. This is a channel lock side cutters. These are always available anymore on Amazon. And that's my favorite side cutters. Okay, this is going to be the easy thing to build. Let's use him in the middle. And we get our nice fanned out balanced shape started. And just start working our components in. Let's lay our gold tone leaf spray, slide it right down the center here. And we're going to just design this in our hand, more or less. Wiggle those leaves through a little bit, opening up space. We still want our pumpkin to be the center. And our green, which fans open nicely, you can kind of just lay the stems open. Let's put this around the outside, and then once we get that in place, maybe pull 1 or 2 green pieces sort of into the middle, reaching back through and grabbing them and pulling them into the middle. There, you got it. So it kind of creates an even, balanced arrangement. I have a front in mind, but it could be easily shaped to be full all the way around. Of course, the pumpkins kind of have a facing direction the way they're stacked on their stem. And we just need to nestle that down into the middle. So they're nested in here. Nested pumpkins. These little cider pumpkins are the star of the show. I love the little wispy cattails with them. It's fall, but not overtly orange. A lot of you don't get excited about orange for fall. I've had many conversations about how orange doesn't fit in people's homes.
Well, that's true. I think that's why there's always the complement of deep olivey greens and some yellows, like an aspen leaf. That's always helpful to balance your tones.
We're going to use a little piece of wire and add a single wire here. The reason I wire first over the stems is because our bendy vine, you can get it wrapped on there pretty tight, but it will never be as snug as a good old wire. So crank that down maybe wrap it twice here to secure it well, and then we can overlap that with some vine to make it pretty. You know, right now this isn't very pretty. It's tidy, but it isn't pretty. And also when we set it in our vase, it's going to flop around a little bit. And this is, two things could happen here. You could either make sure some of these stems are resting on the vase itself, which helps keep it stabilized and not flip around. But the other thing that will help is using this vine to support and create a ligature inside of the vase. So I'm just going to make a couple of twists here and wrap it to hide my wire. That's why we do it in our design studio. So when it comes to you, even if you place this in a glass vase, it will look pretty.
And this is the cream wrapped bendy vine. It is linked in the kit description as well. So if you want a link to that item, it's a really large piece, so you'll cut it apart and use it little by little, but definitely very, very helpful.
And it's on sale. So here I'm using the extra considerable amount of wrapped vine to create a ligature. Because if I stick this in the vase, it's hard to show you on camera, but it has filled the gap in there with the vine, which pushes against the sides and makes it absolutely stable inside my straight cylinder vase. So that is a handy little tip with that bendy vine that cleans up your look, helps you stabilize things, could be wrapped and hanging out over the vase as part of a decorative element also.
So this is the Cozy Pumpkin Drop-In Kit. Regular price is $40. You'll see the sale today and tomorrow, the 7th and 8th, automatically apply. And it's easy to shop all of the sale items in our DIY weekend sale collection. So everything you shop will be on sale there.
Exactly. So it's very simple. The vase is sold separately.
Yes.
There you go. I like how that will look. I wonder if we can squeeze that up onto the mantle.
Yes.
What should we do next? A bigger drop-in?
Karen loves the use of bendy vine, but I struggle with it. It always ends up looking like a jumbled mess. That's the point of bendy vine. It can look like a jumbled mess.
Well, if you noticed, I kind of gathered it, and after I wrapped it, I pulled it into a more of a set of vines, and then curled it like this, so it wasn't so messy looking, and that went inside the vase in a little spiral. So that might be one thing to do, is just reconnect all those vines next to each other. Okay, we're going to do a really large drop-in, moving into a darker colorway. Here's your paper.
I'll get the link here.
I've got a centerpiece coming up, a wreath coming up, a porch pot coming up.
And that's just in the Cozy Up collection.
Right. Lots of new things. So this is a vase that just recently made a debut. It's the suggested vase for this item, although I don't know that she added it actually as a suggested vase. I don't recall telling her to do so, so I think we don't have that one linked, but we sure could. And this is how it will end up, but I need to, of course, disassemble this quickly for you. This is new sunflowers, guys, and I've used 2 colors here. Very excited about these sunflowers. I did not use them in my home, and now I'm wishing I did. I might have to find a way to add those. That would be ideal, because they're unusual and rich in color, a different color palette. Okay.
I think the vase was called the Seiko vase, by the way. I'm just going to get that linked in the product description. It's the large for $34. And I'll link it so that way if you're shopping this item and you need a vase suggestion, it's right there for you.
Well, that's what we're here for, bringing it all together so it's super easy for you to select things that look nice with each other and look nice in your home. Okay.
So this is the Praire Sunflower Drop-In Kit, regular price of $82. Optional add-on is bendy vine, floral wire, and we have 2 vase suggested in the bottom of the product description. I'll call it the large drop-in here in the link. So if you're watching live on Facebook, I have the links there. If you're watching replay, these are all available on our website. So it's the Praire Sunflower Drop-In Kit, and we'll go through all the pieces here. So we have the brown sunflower spray and the brown field sunflower spray times 2. So we should show the difference there.
Okay. So this is the Which one is the triple head?
The one you use 2 of is the brown field.
This is the brown field. Okay, I'm using 2 individual stems. Look at that color.
Beautiful. And then the brown sunflower spray is just a brown sunflower triple head spray.
So they are just subtly different in color. Aren't they pretty? They are just, I don't know.
They look great together.
Cognac brown, perhaps? Pale, pale rust? Okay.
Then a vanilla field blossom spray. Just one.
Just one, because it fans open nice and full.
The mini oak leaf spray.
That is a plastic item, which is nice and fine and airy. 1 stem only.
A beige Astilbe bendy spray.
Again, 1 stem. There's a lot going on here, and it does have a fun bendy vine base.
And a nutmeg Chinese lantern.
You could use other colors. We experimented with the white. I think the gold one looks pretty too, but I ended up with the chocolate.
And that's all the pieces in this kit.
Great. Well, let's start with the sunflowers here. Now, if I design in this vase, I think we're going to be off camera. So that's going to be a little hard to show you. I better just design it in my hand.
It's almost like you need a shorter table, too.
You
need all the tables.
Some table options. So let's put the original 3-part sunflower here in the middle. Get their leaves fanned out a bit. And I don't know if I cut this one. I might have. These maybe aren't cut at all. Didn't need to cut very much. Let's put the middle one in. We're going to then do... we're going to work him towards the center as well and lay these 2 stems side by side. It's going to give a little height here, so you want the Chinese lantern to stick up above the center sunflower, kind of like so. And then it will shape out in 3 directions. If you are flaring your stem components apart, you can just be mindful of pointing them out and away here. And then we've got this piece which has, oh goodness, 3 or 4 sections. So we want to utilize the width of this stem as well and get that wiggled up next to everything else so it helps create a centerpiece effect here. Okay, there it is. And you can see that there's a little variation on where this is going to lay. There's not a specific placement of it. I'm just making sure all the stems are next to each other. They're staggered a bit, and you can reshape them a little bit later. We're just trying to position them before we get that wire on. Then we'll put in both of the sunflowers. So it looks to me like this triple sunflower is going here, here, and here. So if I lay one of these on each side, it will help us have a more rounded drop in. One there and one over here. Just like that. That works pretty easily. And you can see that the stems, since I had them pre-cut, we are nicely staggered and balanced. There we go. I'm going to let this vanilla stem work its way into the middle as well. Dropping that down midway and kind of reaching through and pulling the sections of the vanilla stem around for balance. A little bit of light color contrast is nice. There it is, sort of midpoint here. And then lastly, we've got this big old chunk of Astilbe, which has vines all over it. I'm just going to open it up. Do you see how there's 3 sections? In fact, this might be easier for you. Wire at this point, put a wire on it so that you don't lose what you've got here while you wrestle, with the bendy vine. That might be helpful. Here we go. So let's get that wire in place so we don't have to worry about where this is rolling around to, because this is going to take some shaping. We can fan this open into 3 sections. Hopefully you can see that. And place that around the outside like this. Get in there. And you will then be able to wiggle this up and through. In fact, you can even take your stem and kind of go like that. It is a super sturdy, very bendy extra element that's going to be fun to mess with. So it will be an option of pulling it up into the design, more into the center. If you want to shape it up and through that way, you can also leave one of the pieces, which I'm going to do, to flip and wind down and over our vase for interest. And let's pull this one up in there a little bit. You're going to definitely want to mess with that vine so that it goes right where you like it.
So you're using today the large Seiko vase. It's $34. It's a new piece. We also photographed it in the large Paulownia wood vase. So you have two different options, suggestions there. In general, how big is this vase?
I think that's the short one.
That's the short one, yep. This one is about 20 inches tall for reference. So you might have a vase at home, or if you need one. We did just get a large shipment of beautiful vases. So shoot for around 20 inches tall, but you can always cut the stems to be a little bit shorter.
You sure can. If your vase is maybe shorter but chunkier and wider, I don't think there'd be any problem with the proportions of this in a shorter and wider vase. So here with this piece that's able to drape down in front, I'm just kind of laying my leaves out, and then you can take your finger and sort of curl these stems around to help control them. And I like them dropping down around the vase a little bit. It sort of visually connects the things in the vase with the vase itself. So let's turn this and show you how that's looking. There we go. Just a little bit down like that. And it's just a versatile little bendy vine. It gives you lots of options of where it's going to land or how wide it can fan out and make your vase look wider. You could use it to create a really abstract look and pull it way out to the sides and give it a sweep over here and a sweep up there. It's just going to be a nice element to play with. There we go.
Beautiful. Carol said, oh my, I already placed one order. Now I have another cart full, so I'm just going to close my eyes and hit checkout bundle.
I'm glad you're finding some fun things. Hey, you can always give things away as gifts, right?
Yes, you can. It's the gift-giving season. It's time to think ahead a little bit.
There we go. So that is going to look beautiful back in our display.
So again, that is the Praire Sunflower Drop-In Kit. Regular price was $82. It's on sale the 7th and 8th, today and tomorrow, for only $70. So if you want to shop that kit, also in the description, I linked all the components used. So if you want to pick and choose the flowers, or if you think, you know, I need something a little fuller, I'm going to add another vanilla blossom or anything like that.
Sure,
it's very easy to do. The
This
sale is automatic.
This is actually at 38 inches the way I've designed it.
Okay.
It's at 38 inches tall right now, which is working great in this vase. Dropping it into the 20-inch vase.
Yeah, I love it in that vase.
It's beautiful.
Very nice. Beautiful. Oh, they love that one. Cheryl and Gail said, love it. Gorgeous.
Okay,
beautiful,
our mantle's
beautiful.
going to get pretty crowded.
It's going to get nice and full. Do you want to do the swag?
Sure.
Okay.
So then we can just keep jumping around here. That was a little bit of a medium design, I'd say, in complexity. Let's do another easy one. This is going to be a simple table swag. And I say table swag because generally these things, if I'm making them as a table accent, they may not lay nicely on the wall, but you could reshape it to be a wall piece.
Okay. And I didn't have any other questions so far, but I am answering your questions in the comments as we go. The most common question I saw is the sale automatic. Yes, it is. And I dropped a link to the full DIY weekend collection where all the sale things are compiled together, so it's really easy to shop. No, that's okay, Carol. The vase that we show is the large Seiko, S-A-C-O. It's also linked in the product kit description if you want to link to that. And it's photographed in the large Paulownia vase, so you can actually see it two ways there. Whatever works.
And the large Paulownia vase is this wood vase. So
But
we
that
will
one's
be,
the small.
This is the small, but we'll be showing one as we go along for the rest of the day. But this is a vase that fits lots of things in the extra tall size. And this is the shorter version.
What's this one? Oh, the
Now,
quiet
I
morning.
will say too, as a heads up, we will need that bow in the system.
Okay, I'll do that.
Or they can't purchase that swag without it.
Okay.
Perhaps, I'm not sure. So this is going to be the component list whenever Kate's ready.
Yes, so this is the Quiet Morning Swag Kit, regular price of $46. It includes a yarrow pick bundle.
And this one is the little dusting of foam pieces on a plastic base bundle. You could disassemble it, but we're going to leave it connected.
The brown eucalyptus spray ×2.
These have been cut short. We
It's
do
new.
have nice long stems. They were just restocked.
This large cream fall mix spray.
Is that
There.
this one
Yep.
with the Chinese lantern pot on it?
And the golden eucalyptus spray.
So they're the same thing. One has the extras and one is just leaves.
And that is the Quiet Morning Swag Kit. It is photographed again in our large mango wood tray, which is linked in the product description. And we have linked optional floral wire and a speckled cream pumpkin that we'll show you.
You know what I would like to see for this one? Actually, it would maybe be the one with the silver metal handles. Is that out here?
Sure, I can go get it.
So that would be a really good one as well.
Okay, so I'll put the bow in and I'll get you that tray.
So here's how we're going to be shaping this little piece, this yarrow. When you want to use it as a centerpiece, it's all wired. I'm not going to disassemble this. I could take it apart, flip one stem going the other direction, but you know, it's less work to just shape it like this, and this will be hidden in our design no matter what. Anyway, then we're going to cut these stems off. So I don't think I have the full stem in front of me here to show you, but I cut off probably a good 10 inches here, just so that I could lay them end to end and create a little base that looks like this. And the reason I did that is because if you had your full stems on here, they're plastic stems. If I cut them, they won't unravel. If I tried to bend them and curl them up and use the full stem length, which you could do, just take the ends and curl, curl, curl. They're pretty chunky, so they would show, but if you don't have a good wire cutters, just curl the ends up of these stems. That would work too. Then we're going to lay the yarrow bundle in the middle. It doesn't really matter which way it goes. You just need it to nest down in the center here so that it becomes the base. And we're intentionally wanting that yarrow to stand up. If this was going to go up on the wall, you would want to flatten it out a little bit more so it doesn't stick out from the wall. Thanks, that's the perfect tray. So that's a start for you here. And you're going to want some wire ready to go. If you're going to tape your wire, have it ready and taped so you don't have to come back to it. This one we're going to fan out to get our leaves extended. One direction, straight up, and the other direction. I'm not going to worry about this stem end. I feel like he's going to hide in there. So we're threading that stem end and laying that spray in place. There we go. Hopefully you can see that coming together. We're going to add another pick in the middle here to secure and add more, mostly to add more chunks of berries and texture and color, make it a little thicker in the middle. So maybe since my leaf of this style, its stem goes that way, I'm going to stick the stem of this one this way so that they're going opposite directions. And look how much fuller that gets when you lay that second piece in there. Plus now we have the addition of a couple of berries. I want to make sure those are popped up and visible. This is intentionally a very airy concept because we're going to lay, again, some pumpkins into it. And when you have an airy design, then it allows you to sort of tuck those pumpkins in amongst the swag and not have it taking up so much solid space that you can't nestle things. So this is going to be a great one to nestle some things in place. I just like the taupey, tan, golden combination.
Question from Judy. She said, could you use this for a lantern topper?
Oh, you could if you had a pretty good sized lantern. I will be making lantern toppers coming up. Don't let me forget that guy off to the side over there.
Okay.
I do have one. So this again is going to have two wires on it. They're going to be about 2 inches apart. I'm threading them both off sides. I'm not putting one smack dab in the middle. I'm putting them 2 inches apart on each side of the center. I think this as a lantern swag could work because we could bend it down. I do have a large lantern. We could try it on. You definitely want to keep it condensed if you were trying to squeeze it onto a lantern. Okay, get my 2 pieces of wire in place. I'm just crossing that wire over all the stems, locking them in. And as an option, We could put a little bendy vine to create some texture and interest in here, and that cream wrapped vine should be suggested, Kate, but I bet it isn't.
Okay.
Is that an easy thing to do?
Yep, I'm just working on that bow here quick.
I'm going to show you how that would look. So here are my wires, 2 inches apart, left and right of center. We're ignoring the stems at the bottom, which are showing here, and they're showing here. If that bugs you, you can cut them, you can spiral them. I'm not going to worry about them, but they will be hidden in my tray. Then to make it a little bit more tidy, we could use a small piece of cream wrapped vine. And just as I said before, to make things look more finished, to hide the mechanics of your actual wire, we could work a couple loops here, right through, just to hide our wire and actually deliberately let these ends stick out. The ends can become part of an interesting element also. Okay, wrapping, twisting a couple pieces together. It kind of goes over the top of our wires, and deliberately let's leave the loose ends coiling into our design here. So this bendy vine, because I didn't want to commit you to purchasing this entire bundle with this kit, is a suggested item that you could add on depending if you're finding a need for this on whatever kits you're selecting today. It's a handy little thing because we use bendy vines so much in our store for our designs that if you stick with us long enough, you probably will too. Here we can get a couple extra little pieces of that cream wrapped vine to wiggle through there. You could even put more in and make it extra viney. Okay, this is the tray I asked Kate to run and grab for me. I like this metal one. I don't remember the name of this one, but I bet you do. All kinds of things we're asking Kate to do today. Please,
Wait,
Kate.
maybe I should write this down before. Okay, I'm getting your bow, and then you want the cream bendy vine here. And the tray is the mango wood tray with aluminum handles, I
Okay,
believe.
this tray I have at my house. I really like it. Now I'm partial to
I haven't
silver.
even finished my coffee yet.
I know. She always gets stuck doing all the things, right, guys? This tray is a little bit longer than the other one. Both would work if you don't have a tray. Let me try to show you the difference in length here. It looks like this one's maybe 3 inches longer and a little bit narrower here and here, plus the addition of the silver handles is different. So giving you some tray choices if you're shopping for a versatile tray. That's nice and lengthy on here. I really do like this. We should have probably photographed it with the cream wrapped twig in there. I even have another piece. You could just tuck in some wild pieces, because here's what's fun about bendy vine. This is a little pumpkin called the cream speckled pumpkin. He's about 6 inches. We can take a piece and give him a more interesting off the vine effect with our piece of bendy vine. Look, doesn't that give him some new character? There, we can nestle you into our design here.
Question from Colleen. She said, how long do items stay in your cart? She wants to keep shopping all day. They should stay in your cart indefinitely. Make sure you're logged in. Sometimes it logs you out and you just have to log in to see your cart. But other than that, we have no time limit on your cart. The items are not held for you, but we have plenty of inventory today. We're purposely working with deeper quantity new things so that way you wouldn't be shorted a beautiful kit. Thank you, Ruth. Called me a techno master.
She is. She gets to do all the things. Make it so, number one. Make it so.
Yes. Okay, so this was the Quiet Morning Swag Kit again, and I will link that second tray option.
Great. And I'm also getting ahead of her and grabbing a new pumpkin. Now, I thought this was going to be a foam pumpkin, but he's actually resin. Isn't he cute? He's sort of a yellow squash color. I think that looks nice with the yellow gold tones. And wow, how sweet is this look? So fun. Love the extra vine. We didn't photograph it that way online, but here is your finishing extra tip. There we go. Now there's still a little air here on the tray. You could certainly load that up with even more pumpkins. If you wanted to do that mixed gourd pumpkin combination box, that would fit here as well. You could also, like at my house, I've got reed diffusers everywhere and different kinds of candles. You could slip this over to one side and you would still have room on one end to place a, don't have one, reed diffuser or a candle off to the end when you're displaying this at your house. That'd be another option. There we go. One foam pumpkin, one resin pumpkin. This new yellow toned pumpkin just came in yesterday to the warehouse, and this cream speckled pumpkin we have had in our inventory for a little time.
What is the name of that little yellow pumpkin? Do you know?
He hasn't a tag in at all, but I know he's a brand new arrival.
Okay.
And he was just checked in yesterday, to my knowledge. There we go. So that's an easy design, guys. That was not a hard one.
Oh, here it is. Spiced accent pumpkin for $7.50.
Ah, it's only $7.50. That's a great price point. Good deal. Well, it certainly is a good element in here.
Carol said, "Y'all are killing me. Literally, if my husband only knew." Donna already placed an order this morning. Thank you for your order. And she's finding more things. Can we combine orders? So we don't combine orders. Just doesn't work with the system. I'm hoping someday we can work out that. But our order shipping is tiered, so it's based on order value, so it's not like you're wasting money on shipping or anything like that. That's kind of how we found it works best.
Exactly. So
what is the white bendy vine? Yes, I will drop a link to the cream wrapped bendy vine.
This is called cream wrapped bendy vine.
On sale for $16.
There you go. It's that's a great price.
Yeah, very.
So this is basically just two components, but the trick to this one is the shaping and then potentially an added bow that I will show you. That should have been, the bow you just made should be suggested on this item.
Okay, you have that bow on 3 items then. You know that? Okay.
That's very possible.
Sure you know.
I made
you
a
must
bunch.
have really liked that bow.
Well, we can make more styles of bows,
Yeah.
but I knew that they wouldn't get photographed and put on. I thought that one was.
It is. I just photographed it now, but we only have 7 bows. Can you make more of that one?
Yes. In fact, when they run, have them take that bow and copy it.
Okay, let me find
So we have
one.
used the same sunflowers here and cut them off and unfortunately really wound them in.
I'm going to need to photograph this one.
Oh, no one. Nope, really?
I think this one got missed. So we'll have to just snap a photo of it.
Do you want me to
when
lay
you
this
get
back
it.
on here really
No,
fast?
I'll just put it online without a photo, and then I'll just add the photo when you're all done. That'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll make it work. They know the deal. This one is called the Harvest Moon Wreath. The Harvest Moon Wreath is only 3 components. That's easy.
It is.
The regular price is $80, and it is going to be 2 of the brown sunflower sprays.
So this is how they were cut. There's 4 pieces in my hand. I should have grabbed a stem to show you, sorry. They are cut like so. So our stem came as a staggered set of 3 that we just used in that drop-in earlier. The cut that you're going to make is below the doubles and right above that last single. There's a natural spot where we'll split that off so that you'll end up with 2 and 1. And they're cut maybe only 10 to 12 inches long here. And that is 2 stems, each of them split in half. We've lost the rest of the stem as well.
So 2 of the brown sunflower sprays and 1 pampas and dried grass wreath. I would rate this easy.
It is easy. So this is a grapevine-based wreath. There's a lot of product on it. It takes a lot of shaping to get this to look soft and pretty. It comes quite flat, and all of the results for these kinds of things just involve lifting and shaping these up. Well, I'm sorry about the no photo thing.
Well, it looks like you have a Harvest Pumpkin mini bow on this product.
Oh, yes, we could show that.
Okay, that's
Yes.
what you have.
That would be my box of bows.
Okay.
We should recap the available bows at some point. Don't let me forget.
Sure.
So what I want to
write it
do,
down on my list.
yeah,
I brought a
want
notebook
to do
for a reason.
is lift this product up. It's coming very flat. You know how it's going to be manufactured super smashed. But we are going to go down into the base of each of these stem sections, and we're just going to give them a little lift. It's like doing your hair, right? You have to lift it up from the roots. And that's going to help it have more fullness. The other option is whether or not you want to fan your wreath out a little bit wider. If I pull it out this direction and lift it, we can actually increase the diameter of this wreath by just separating it out a little bit, which I'm going to do here. It also separates the components. You can see it better. They're really closely laid on each other otherwise. It's a combination of pampas grass that is foam and some kind of filament. These leaves are a foam leaf. These leaves are a fabric leaf. Interesting. And lots of little vines. This chunk is like an artificial branch vine. So we're going to shape that, pull that out, and then we'll curl it back in later. By lifting this away from the grapevine base, it's also going to allow me to get those sunflower stems tucked in and wired, because of course they need to be wired into the vine itself, not to any of this loose material. They need to be locked into the wreath base. Okay. That is a better result, don't you think? Should have had a before and after one sitting beside me, but that gives you the tips and tricks on how to shape open most of our wreaths that are constructed that way when they're manufactured. Just come in squished. Looks like we got a twig segment appearing in 4 locations on this wreath, these little twig pieces that are artificial twigs. So then back to the sunflowers. Now you just will get a better result here if you don't start wiring the sunflowers in. First place them, make sure you like how you've placed them, and then go back and wire them. So I'm going to take the doubles, whoops, where's my doubles, and place them opposite each other here. Double, double. Let's put one down at the bottom towards you, and one up a little higher. I was going to see if this would go behind the wire.
Nancy wonders,
Nope.
Can that wreath be placed outside in a covered area?
Sure. Yep, as long as you've got a way to keep the moisture off of it, I wouldn't worry about it.
Carol said, I just received 2 orders from y'all yesterday. I'm having them sent to a different address other than my home, so my hubby doesn't know.
So you can enlist your neighbor in your shopping experience, maybe. So notice the direction that our wreath wants to move. Instead of fighting the flow, we're going to go with it. So the heads of these sunflowers are going to be opposite each other, flowing in the circle that the wreath is already forming in. And those are the 2 doubles. I'm going to lay the singles over here off to the side. And you might have to even sort of take your stem and curve it so that it's following your grapevine, because we've got to go back in there and get some wires on things. So he's going to be wired down to the vine in a position that I am going to double check before I start wiring. And then this one is going to fit in right over here. Now I didn't want to lose any of these pretty leaves, so all of my stem length cuts are below the leaf point. I didn't want to cut off the leaves. I like those in there. Even though you could cut the head shorter, that's why I didn't. And again, I gave that one a little bit of a curve so that the head of this sunflower can follow around. There we go. So then once we get them in place, let's go in quickly and put some wire on. This would be a situation where taped wire wouldn't be as important. If I'm going to use a naked wire, you can push the naked wire more easily through the grapevine than a taped wire would. So that's an important fact. And we're probably going to need to wire each of these sunflowers down potentially in 2 spots to get them to stay. I also use my blunt nose pliers, guys. This is my second tool in addition to the side cutters. Channel lock side cutter pliers and a Knipex, K-N-I-P-E-X, flat nosed lineman tool. Basically they're both lineman's tools. And I buy expensive tools because this is my daily job. Of course you would not need to buy these $40 tools. They are my preference though, and I'm always asked for my preference.
Pretty. I feel like this one you can add more to this design too. If you want plum or blue, you could add a wash currant berry to it in either of those colors. You could even add it in the orange color, would be really pretty. So you can just kind of customize these.
Grab them. Do you have those stems on the rack over by the window?
I don't know if we do.
They are right outside the office area.
Okay.
So some new stems that just recently restocked, some of our favorites. And she's imagining they would add great color. I agree, they sure would.
I think I would have to go get them.
I'm working my way around here and laying wires around the grapevine and catching my sunflower stems. Appears that I need to catch each sunflower stem in 2 spots. The very base where the stem is cut and a little higher up towards the head of the sunflower, but I don't want to wire the head of the sunflower down into the design too tightly. So he's secure, and don't worry yet about what the head of the sunflower is doing. If you don't like where it's landing, I'm going to show you how to control it a little bit better. Okay.
Okay. Oh yes. Do we have blue? We have a few styles of blue pumpkins, Jan. The blue
glass?
sunflowers I linked for you. That would be pretty. And I'll have to think on the blue pumpkins. I think they're just called blue pumpkins. Michelle got her plaid taper candles. So cute. Now she has to find batteries.
Oh, right. Yes. Don't you need to have 300 batteries in your house at all times?
Don said, y'all do such beautiful work. I love how you break down the steps for the DIY folks to follow along at home.
Well, good. Hey, we're trying to make this extra easy today because it is very satisfying to make something yourself. Especially when your friends and family comment and compliment you.
Yes.
That's the best. I think you have a door issue again.
I texted them. I know our alarm's like beeping.
Okay, so then our sunflower heads, like I said, they're going to be going a little wild on you because the heads of the sunflowers are big, you know, to control the direction that they're going. What is best is probably to get it up on the wall to make your final choice on how the heads of the sunflowers get arranged, but they are all wired. I didn't bring it.
I'll photograph it over here when you get it done.
Okay.
And so if you're just joining us, these are kits designed to be recreated at home. These videos will be posted after, and you'll be able to watch the replay and recreate it live with Mom. Well, not live, in the replay.
In the replay. I won't be live in your living room. I'll be on replay.
You might be live in their living room right now.
So this is how we can control the flower head. All the little bendy vines that are attached to this wreath, do you see this twig here? It's pretty fine. But this little sunflower head is flopping around. We can actually just use that vine to grab the neck of the sunflower and position the sunflower with the aid of this little vine here. This is the strands that are tiny. I'm just taking a couple and making a little loop-de-loop out of it around my finger, and that is a group of 3 little strands there because they're winging out all airy and they kind of get a little messy. So that's one way to tidy it up, is just to make a few collections and curl them up. But it also is allowing the stem head to have some support, and I can turn my leaves because they're wired. I can control the heads of the sunflower with some of those vines. We can tip them back out. Let me hold this up again. I also need to pick my top and decide where is the top and where's the bottom.
Jane said, could the blue sunflowers work in this wreath? Absolutely.
They would be pretty big, but yes, they could.
Yeah, they would be big.
The heads of those sunflowers are probably a good 2 inches in diameter larger. There are cream sunflowers that would work.
Trish said that would look great with a pumpkin in the middle for a dining table. It'd be a beautiful
you're right.
lantern design.
Our 9-inch metallic autumn pumpkin would look amazing. Good idea, Trish.
Rhonda said, I love all your live presentations. Your products and shipping are the best. Well, thank you.
So in the grand scheme of things, Kate needs to get a little
I do need to get a little
photo here.
And then I'm going to go turn that beeping off. It's driving me bonkers.
There are several bows that could work as an accent if you want to add a bow. This is the Cutie Pumpkin Bow. We're going to use it on a couple designs today. It's pretty small. And then the other one that is called the Rustic Harvest Bow.
So
in
the description, this one was linked.
Okay.
The mini pumpkin bow, that was your suggested, and then the Rustic Harvest is on the other two.
So the Rustic Harvest Bow is also available. All bows are sold as separate, I think, in all of my designs. I believe that there might be one that comes with the bow.
One that it comes with because it like needs it to make it look pretty.
So if you wanted to add a bow, we could tuck in the little pumpkin cutie bow down here and let the tails fall.
What is the size of the finished wreath, Rose is wondering.
Okay, it could also go up in the top. That's your pumpkin cutie. And the Rustic Harvest Bow is a little bit bigger. If you want to put that one down in the bottom, that would look good. I think the bottom is a better spot in this case because of the way that the wreath flows, and the ribbon tails could drop out the bottom. So that would jazz up the color palette a lot. This one's got they both have 3 components because I've been making pretty elaborate bows these days.
Can you put the mini pumpkin bow on and then I'll photograph it like that?
Okay.
As well.
So
and then we'll
of course
get the measurement here.
You would wire that bow in place. I'm just going to rest it in here so Kate can finish that photography. It's just a little bit more delicate, so it's probably an easier addition. There we go. Perfect. Very nice. Now that means I could make the lantern topper next or the centerpiece next. We're doing pretty well.
I would do maybe the lantern topper.
We need something around the base of this though. Okay. This is going to be, hang on, this is going to be a lantern topper with some very elaborate candles hanging out here.
I wonder if I should plug it in over here.
Sure.
Move the tree.
That looks a little risky.
Yep.
We got a lot of cords and wires. So what we'll be designing today is this cute little lantern topper, and we're also showing, let me flip this around perhaps. We're showing a different kind of battery technology with these candles.
The replacement lead is what it's called.
This is a complex situation over here. We don't normally have cords coming out of batteries, so you will notice this is different.
So do you want a little candle ring maybe, or?
Sure, I think that we would need a Smilex candle ring, unless you can think of some other, or we could use the lantern, this gold candle ring.
That one? Okay.
Maybe both.
Okay.
So what we've got going on is this is our set of LED birch candles. And our birch, of course, is so fun and rustic with the look that we're doing right now. But we've been experimenting here in the showroom with this new product that allows you to replace AAA batteries. She'll have to link this. With this gadget that is wired battery replacements. So we are plugging these wires in to the wall outlet. These obviously look like a AAA battery. There is a wire coming out of it. It has the contact points of a battery, and when you put it in place, it replaces your batteries. Have you seen these online? We haven't talked about them a lot, and Kate will certainly link them up. So we specifically bought these triple battery sets so that you will have your replacement batteries for these triple candle sets that we sell in the moving flame LEDs. There is no difference in operating them with batteries or this new lead wire system. It's just whether or not you want to have them plugged in and have cords. In some scenarios, it's way less of a pain to not have batteries, but you have to, of course, be able to hide your cord. That's the caveat there. So we will set up this beautiful design and top our gorgeous lantern here with a new little design we're going to put together. It's going to coordinate with a candle ring that's already existing in our inventory. This candle ring is the lantern pumpkin candle ring. I think it's the perfect one.
Should we start with the swag on top, or are you going to put that one in first?
Sure. Let me slide this off to the side. Ready to go. I'm just going to rearrange. Nestle and have the base all ready so that when we recreate the topper, there we go. Look at that. That's better.
Did you not get the measurement of that one, Mom? That wreath?
Oh, no.
Okay.
That was what you were needing me to do?
Yes.
Okay, 23 inches, 24 inches, somewhere in there.
Depending on how you finish it, there's going to be some variation, but about 24 inches wide. So then this one is the Happy Pumpkin Lantern Swag Kit. Regular price of only $29. I'll let you get that one pulled apart here.
Okay, can I work
Ruth
offside
said the triple replacement lead with the birch candles is a game changer. I have both now and I love it.
Thank you for that.
Link to all of the replacement leads.
Hopefully there's some good pictures online with that, because
I think we need to add photos.
At the
honestly.
store we buy hundreds of dollars worth of batteries,
Yes.
and I can't continue to provide those.
No, not really.
We actually are going to need to switch all our candles in the store to that. We should be working on that now. So this is going to be a few components nestled together, plus the little bow we were talking about, which should be part of that kit. I hope that that is the case. I'm not sure. And I just must have dropped something. Did I drop
you're
something?
asking what's in the kit?
Well,
you just
I
have
want
the
to
stems.
verify that the bow should have been part of the kit, but I suppose that's too late. And then also, I am missing half of a stem.
The bow is showed separate.
The bow is separate?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they can pick if that's the bow they want.
Got it. Do we have any alternates? So I hate to say this, Kate, but there's only half of this stem here. I don't know where it went.
Okay.
That we had so much stuff piled on this cart. Unless you just grab me a new stem and I'll cut it, that would be my preference. There are some recently restocked stems that came in though, which is really exciting because we were out of these and I love this one so much. There we go. This is going to be a really good piece to design with because this is a pre-made component. Look how much product is already on this. However, there's no pumpkin. And that's why we're going to pair it up with a pumpkin spray here that comes with the cream pumpkin. This is a recent arrival. This is a complete piece. It's not cut off of anything, and it has a coordinating wreath and a coordinating garland that we'll be using with some other colors later today. And then Kate is running to get me a full stem of the sedum spray. It's considered a burgundy sedum spray, but I don't know. This color to me is not true burgundy. It's a beigey, pale blush mauve color. I like that it's airy and it also is a plastic stem. This is half of it. I will just recut a new stem. And then the cutie pumpkin bow is the alternate that's available here to add on. So it's the suggested bow.
It's the Happy Pumpkin Mini Bow again.
go.
Is the name for $10.50.
It's the smallest one currently online.
So you have the soft mauve sedum, the fall harvest pick with pumpkin, and the frolicking berry maple leaf pick, making this little lantern topper. Regular price again of $29. And in the product kit description is a link to floral wire, the bow that's used, and the lantern that's used in the photo.
And the candle ring is not suggested or linked.
I can do that right now.
Great. It is a 6-inch opening, a little over 6 inches. So 2 candles are sitting in the ring and 1 candle is resting on top of the ring. That's how that's working. Okay. So what I did with these components, I already went through the components, is we needed the swag to have a 2-directional sedum. So this one, instead of trying to bend it, because then it became really a long, I sometimes just bend my stems back, we just chose to cut this one off. So it looks like my cut was here. So that 3 sections were going one way, and my other section was just cut and removed to go the other direction. Basically, you're just going to cut this piece off the stem, it looks like. That would be easier. This is what we're going to want to lay in to our design. But first, let's stack the berry spray with the pretty leaves over top of the pumpkin spray. You just kind of need to wiggle them into each other like this. Both the stem ends are going the same way, no big deal. Sometimes I reverse them. In this case, it looked like it was best to just pull some of the material down to sort of hide your stems. This piece works nicely to do that. And I can lay a couple of these leaves back, so then you can see it sort of self-camouflages our stems here. Our accents of the sedum spray, it's just one spray. You're going to cut it in half and then just use that little long piece at the bottom independently, but this one can be nestled in going the same direction to add a little airiness. A little extra flu is what we needed. I'm just threading it through the center, and then I also want to pull and blend so it doesn't just sit there all clumped together. I want to pull it through, shape it out a little bit. There we go. Now it's tucked in and integrated there for you. It works easily enough. And we also have this piece then as our extra, who will go backwards to further hide and camouflage our stem. So you want to have your wires ready to go. Again, if you didn't realize, we sell a pack of 5 22 gauge wires in a little bundle. We also do not sell the tape. I just recommend go get some from the craft shop if you want to wrap tape over a wire like I do. That's something you would do in advance and have them all ready to go so that when your hands are full, you can easily grab your wire and keep moving.
I never tape my wires.
She never tapes her wires. It just depends what you're doing. It is part of my process. So then we're just going to grab a small section of wire. I only need about 3 inches to do this, but I'll cut it off here. I'm always trying to keep my wires and utilize the small stems that are left, the small pieces. We probably just want to put wires in 2 places. Your wire can also become the hanger. So one thing I could do is leave, I've tightened this wire down right here. I could leave maybe this much, cutting it in half, so that I can wire it to my lantern. So you could just leave your wires out the back, specifically for the purpose of securing it to whatever you're going to add it to. This, of course, can be a tray piece. Doesn't have to be a lantern topper. So now I've got 2 wires with extended pieces coming out of them here. There we go. And we can get this shaped again. Our bow can go on here. We just need to figure out where we want our bow to go because the bow clearly needs to hang down. And that just dictates the position of where you'd wire the bow on. So the bow is an optional add-on. You can see without the bow, this piece looks really pretty. I'm showing it on the large metal and wood lantern for $89. This is a really heavy one. It has a lot of distressing. So wood segments inside of a metal frame, nice weight to it. It's going to be gorgeous at Christmas time also. Mm-hmm. And I can use my wires.
You're starting to sound like me.
Planning ahead for Christmas?
Planning ahead for Christmas.
I know. We are always thinking about Christmas.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the time.
It's the large metal and wood lantern for $89. It's 23 by 10 inches. So styled, we have the Happy Pumpkin Lantern Swag Kit, showing it with the mini pumpkin bow. And then in the base of the lantern, we have a set of 3 birch wrapped candles. And we are using the 3 AAA replacement lead for $25, so that way we don't have to have any batteries. And then around it is the cream eucalyptus candle ring that is a new item. So that's all the components used in Mom's design here.
Might be easier to actually wire this to the swag off of the lantern.
Could be.
It might be. I'll get
But
it.
when do we do things the easy way?
I guess. I was trying to show you the easy way. I think the easy way is don't put it on your lantern. Just figure out where the bow needs to go and then attach the bow and put it on. I'm trying to do this to the camera also so that you are not missing anything.
Balance all the things, Mom.
That's right. So cute little bow. It's meant to flow and drop out, especially with these little bitty pumpkin patterned pieces that aren't wired. Those just need to fall. With the crocheted one, the crocheted one's wired. Kind of looks like macrame ribbon. There we go. So cute combination, don't you think? I love that touch of color. And it's just a really easy removable item that could be used in many places. You could do it on a small tray, of course, hang it over the corner of a mirror. You probably can think of all kinds of spots that a little accent swag like that could go.
Yes.
And then the coordinating candle ring, which is easy to grab. That one's ready to roll.
And the bow is sold separate, so if you have a bow at home you want to use, or you can completely change the look of that swag with different colors of ribbon. You can pick and choose what bow you want. And maybe in part 3 at the very end of the day, we'll do a little bow recap for you so you can see all the bows that we have made. But for the meantime, I will drop a link to all of the bows in the online store so you can shop them with ease.
Well, there we go.
You have about 30 minutes left.
I've got
25 minutes for part
porch
1.
pot that goes with these garlands and wreaths that I maybe should do porch pot next.
Okay, let's do porch pot next.
Let me say I have to hand this over to you, or something has to happen with
I'll
all
unplug
this. Okay.
Can the bow be outside?
Sure. If you want to put the bow outside, I would expect it's apparently any ribbon will fade because it's always fabric. So I wouldn't say that there's ribbon that's fade proof. But as long as you know that, get a nice season out of the bow, change up your bow next year if it doesn't look so great when you go to put it out.
So we'll set this
Okay.
over here. We can talk more another day, I think, about replacement leads. I'll have to do a video at the store and show.
We could show all things
our
candle
options.
related. So we're going to make a really large piece now. This is going to be a great option for using
You want me to hold that?
the Cozy Up collection in an outdoor way. The components in this porch pot are all outdoor safe, and it's including some new things in this large leaf in the top. So what I wanted to show you was that yesterday I was inspired to create this because this new leaf spray has just arrived.
Okay, really quick, this is the Natural Neutral Porch Pot Kit. Regular price is $153. The sale today and tomorrow, the 7th and 8th, makes it only $130. Great price point for such a large design. And it includes everything you need to recreate this at home. Now, I will note, if you don't want to have stems in a pot, the pot is included in this kit. You could cherry pick from the product description, links in the product description, and recreate it for your dirt. If you're just poking it into a pot of dirt, maybe even over top of some real greens, that's even better.
So say that one more time. She's got you set up as a kit, including a container.
Yep.
And including 2 blocks of design foam.
Yes.
Should you only need the floral components, within the product description, you can click each item separately and put them in your cart separately to leave the bucket out of it.
Exactly.
Just making sure everybody's got that clear. So then the components of this kit.
What wasn't clear about my long-winded explanation?
Where would you like to start with this collection?
Let's start with the top to bottom, the Clematis Bud Spray. You get a single one of those. Nice everyday stem. Kind of fuzzy.
Pretty interesting.
A Photonia hanging bush in your hand.
That would be this big piece here.
Very large. The Harvest Bloom Sunflower Bush.
This
new item.
Just arrived. Just arrived. Outdoor safe, looks great.
A Maple Leaf Bundle. Also new.
Brand new. And don't let me forget to talk about the coordinating garland and wreath behind me.
Okay. The Metallic Autumn Pumpkin, only on sale in the kit.
Ah, that's one way.
The Brown Maple Leaf Spray.
We're making an appearance with this one again.
And the pot.
Okay.
For some reason, the Eucalypt isn't linked. I better check that.
Okay.
The pot and 2 blocks of foam.
Right.
Optional is Spanish moss if it's not necessarily going to be outside, and a transition bow. Does that sound right? Blue transition bow? Okay.
Yep, it's in my box of
Okay.
bows.
So we'll have to grab that one. And I will check on the little eucalyptus.
Okay.
But that is the Natural Neutral Porch Pot Kit.
Please add a note to your list that I don't know if these were removed from inventory. That would be a question.
Okay, I'll double check.
So our bucket is a 10-inch. This is a bucket that...
Oh, it's called, sorry, the Cinnamon Spice Eucalyptus Bush is included in the link. It was just not linked.
Okay, got it. Cinnamon
Yeah.
Spice Eucalyptus. It's a 10-inch pot by 10-inch pot. So it tapers a little bit towards the bottom, but it's pretty big. If you use it outside and you know it's going to get rained on, the components will be okay, but you'll have water standing in the bucket, so you could drill out holes in the bottom of this if you wanted to. We are sending only the 2 blocks of foam, which I pre-glued together to be able to get this photographed. And the 2 blocks of foam, when they go in, are going to be the minimum needed to make this work. And I'm also going to note the seams on this bucket. You probably can't see them very well, but I'm always trying to be very conscious of turning my blocks of foam so that I don't have a seam in the front, and I want my foam to be stacked backwards. So we'll turn it over so it looks nice and tidy so that I can get my pot built here. When we glue this in to the bottom of our planter, there are one of 2 things is going to happen here. You're going to either want to fill this bucket with some weight, like some sand or some gravel. I just got a good bunch of glue on the bottom. I'm centering it, and you can see how much space is going to be left around these 2 blocks of foam. You can either put a bunch of gravel in there, a little bit on the bottom. You could put some sand on the bottom. You could wedge some other foam, some plastic in there. Who knows what you have that you could wedge around that foam to stabilize it or give your bucket more weight for outdoor stability. Should you choose to continue to get more foam wedged around here, if you just want more foam, you could take another block and cut half and half and put them on the 2 sides. So you could take 1 more additional block that you would buy separately. These are $5 a block. It's my special, super fine, well-holding foam, and you could put a piece on either side so that it would wedge, or cut it into 4 pieces and just wedge it around the top. Those are your options. Just making sure you're thinking about where it's being placed. If it's indoors, doesn't matter as much. The other thing someone should bring you is the sample bags, how we're selling the moss in the bags at some point. Okay. So let's see.
Karen said, I love this color combo. If only I could start from scratch each year.
I
Amen.
know. That's kind of how we do it, you know, being in the business. So we're going to be able to use this entire uncut bundle and not disassembled. It's 2 stems, but they are banded together, and we're just leaving them that way. It's a brand new fabric leaf. Such a pretty kind of caramely color. Love, love, love it. And when you put them in, we're going to start at the back and kind of work our way to, we're outlining it and then filling in the middle. So we're going to want to make sure we get that inserted pretty deep. We're now sitting at a height of 3 feet. So I've got it sticking up 36 inches tall in this scenario right now. You could smush it down, you could cut that shorter if you want to. Then our big old maple leaf piece here, which is great because for outdoor use, this is actually a plastic leaf with a fun mottled finish. The stem is sort of a rubbery wrap on it. I don't know what that material is, but it'll do fine outdoors. I need to cut that a little shorter. So I'm taking off about 6 inches of the stem, and then I'm going to pair that up with my other leaf. So these 2 are going to stand together. I know it's a little bit tall. We've just realized this table is quite tall.
It is quite tall.
We set the table up a little tall, and it's too late to change it. Okay, there it
Do you want to design it on this cart?
I could, but that would be hard to move this whole table out of the way.
Oh, I wouldn't.
I'll just
I would
keep
just
going
set
like
it.
this.
Yeah. Here. Just set it right there.
Okay, does that help you out? Maybe that does. Okay.
I think that helps.
Good idea.
I'll just sit like this for a bit.
We're also going to get our pumpkin ready and set it aside so the glue can dry. So these types of pumpkins, and this is a really fun little 6-inch metallic copper pumpkin or bronzy pumpkin. They're all foam, so we're using a scrap of stem. This is just a heavy plastic stem from something else. You can pre-poke a hole with your stem. If you feel like you can't get that in there, depending on what kind of stick you're using, you could use a screwdriver to make a hole in advance. In a pinch, I've used a pen. Whatever you have to stab a hole in your pumpkin. But once you get a little hole, you can just add a dot of glue and then let that glue set up. So I'm going to set him aside with his little stem glued on. That stem is maybe only 6 to 8 inches long. Then we're going to make sure we get our greenery in place, because the greenery takes a lot of shaping. So that is what I need next. This bush is so big. There's so much to it. Yeah. There's so much to it. This is that Fittonia vine. It is a very big vine. And I like it because it's a dusty gray-green as opposed to a very dark green or an olive green color. The grayed out color of it works and blends well with this type of muted collection. The other thing that happens with this big blunt end is that this is a really harder thing to put into the design foam. Sometimes it takes a stem, just literally in the garbage, something to get your hole started a little bit for something that large. Like, I'm saying this because some people have more difficulty using the right amount of pressure to push this into the foam. So by pre-making a hole with something, it'll give you less grief.
Something I do is I pre-stamp my hole before I put glue on it, because the worst thing is if you have glue on an item and you're trying to push it through thick foam and you can't get all the way through, and
the
it's
glue
glued.
is it's not going far enough,
like
and the glue
concrete.
is stopping it. So it does help to press a hole into something. We're going to do that for this also, because that's a very big stem. So this is how much of the greens we've got going on. This is great if you're all right with it flowing out onto the surface. This is long enough that it's going to drape. Maybe even at your house, this 10 by 10 planter becomes a liner and you're setting the whole thing into something bigger. You have a choice of letting it drape and flow, in which case you can really shape it so it looks natural. Or you could cut off a couple of the longer pieces and reinsert it with some glue. Just cut it off here, maybe a little short, and put it in the back. That would be another choice. Giving you ideas and options. But basically, this is enough greenery that it has completely camouflaged our foam. And if it's going outside, I wouldn't worry about putting any moss in here to disguise my foam, because the moss is just going to get damp and mildewy, perhaps. If you do this inside, you might want to be able to look in and see a nice tidy amount of moss covering your pot, in which case this is linked as a separate item to purchase. I don't remember the price point. Oh wait, $8.50. So this is a bag of super clean, soft preserved Spanish moss. This would be a high quality from a moss specialty company. It's not dusty, dry, crunchy, or fake wood shavings, all of which I've seen. It's my favorite nice moss. So
I'll drop a link to all moss if you're interested. It's just one of those nice supplies to have on hand. Little by little, we're getting those things. Pretty soon we'll have floral tape, hopefully.
We're working on it. We have our supplier has a hard time getting tape to us.
Yeah.
So I haven't been selling it because I can't always get enough for myself, but we will continue to work on that. So here's our full stem of sunflowers. I haven't even shaped it. It is this nicely shaped. We're going to put a dot of glue and stick that into the pre-made hole that we did there. So I know I need to press this down a little ways. I'm going to put pressure on it right here.
And that is a new sunflower. We just got it yesterday. It's linked in the description of this kit, so that way you can purchase that one separately if you need just a nice, good, solid cream sunflower.
Love the look of that. We don't want to forget to add our little clematis bud spray. Isn't that funny? It's just a really interesting little guy. He is not cut, but we're sticking him up top. He doesn't really need a pre-drilled hole. He's going to be a thin stem. He'll slide right into the foam, no problem. So now we got all kinds of fun things happening in this pot. Good textures, lots of interest in there, and that sunflower's really standing out. So we also have this good accent color. I love this eucalyptus for outside use. It just came in, guys. So nice.
We got a lot of new stuff in yesterday, just in time for the DIY weekend.
Oops, I forgot to put glue on it.
You know what else we got in that you'll be so excited about?
What?
That green ribbon with the jute edge. We got more rolls of that.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, we must have had it back ordered.
We did.
Good news.
I put it online, so if anybody wants it, and I'll drop a link to all the ribbon and bows again, so you have it.
Well, if I knew that, I would have made some bows with it.
Oh, there's plenty. Ruth said, you are full service, one-stop shop.
We're doing our best, guys. We're doing our best.
We need to get it would be really fun if we could get your tools, your Nippics and your
the tools.
side cutters. I want them customized.
Well, we could even get a nice scissors for cutting ribbon.
Yeah.
So, okay, now look at how we've got that finished up. There's a lot of interesting textures and colors there. I like how the brown eucalyptus just draws your eye in and sets that off so it's not just greenery in the bottom there. Balances out the caramel colored leaves. And we could quit while we're ahead. You would not have to add anything to this if you didn't want to. We have several bows in the online store. I thought maybe for fun, this would be a different color palette to add. We do carry this little bow, which is suggested with the porch pot, if you like it. It's the blue transition bow. It's $15.50. There's a lot going on there. A little bit of flannel, two kinds of plaid there. The blue pumpkins, but it is going to stand out just as nicely as the white sunflower does. So let me just nestle that in there so you can get a look if you would like to add a bow. And if you feel like it needs some blue, you can select a blueberry in the online store if you want to add some blue to it.
The bow is sold separately, so you can add it or you don't have to get it. And it is the blue transition fall bow for only $15.50 again, and that is 10 by 16 roughly. Ooh, did you make more of those last night?
That one I did not.
Okay.
I probably need to because they were missing. I was missing that one ribbon.
Okay.
Add it. Make a list for me.
I will. I'll put it on.
Because I'll make sure I get more bows made when I have a break here. That's a good one. And
when she has a break, she's going to keep working.
I'm going to not take a break. I'm going to make bows. I did a bunch last night, but yes, the bow situation is quite the thing. Okay, so I have got a porch pot that coordinates with two other components here. Let me make sure I show you what has been received just yesterday.
So then again, this kit's regular price is $153 for the porch pot kit. Everything is linked in the product description if you want to pick and choose, or if you don't want the pot and foam because you're putting it right in dirt. And the bow is linked there as well. So, and the kits, Cheryl said, I love DIYs. How often do you do these? We usually do one per season. This year we added spring and summer separately, which was so nice. And I think we'll do Christmas and winter separately this year too.
Okay, well, that keeps me busy. I won't be bored. So these are the brand new components that just showed up yesterday. I did not create a design to finish out this wreath, but to tell you the truth, the wreath is a gorgeous wreath by itself. You could add a bow to the wreath. You could add blueberries to the wreath. You could add cream sunflowers to the wreath by cutting up the bush or buying the single stems. All of this just arrived. This is a good sized wreath that maybe you'll have to drop the link separately.
I am.
And then this beautiful garland. I am kind of dying to use this somewhere at my house. Isn't that pretty? It won't scratch your railing, your mantle, or anything because it has this plastic tubing construction. And the length of this garland is 6 feet. So
it's very
a little
large.
bit floppy. You can see there's nice movement to the leaf. We waited a long time for this guy.
Yes, we did. Hi, Becky. She's watching while camping. She asks, are you going to be making kits all day? Yes, she is. 6
what
hours
are you going to be
today.
doing all day, Becky? We're going to be making kits.
So this is the end of part 1 of our DIY live design day. We are going to start part 2 at noon Central Time. So we'll take an hour break, make some bows.
Somebody go get me this ribbon.
Warm up some lunch, and we will be back at noon Central Time. And what are we going to do next?
I think we'll slip into some deeper color palettes,
Okay.
actually. I've got a couple lighter items, but then we're going to be doing porch pots, more tray swags, drop-ins, and wreaths in darker, more vibrant, rich colors for fall.
Okay, goody. So we're going to have lots more kits. There's about 30 kits total for DIY weekend. All of our stems, everyday and fall stems, are 15% off, and all of the kits that Mom designed are 15% off as well. Today and tomorrow, the 7th and 8th, until midnight Central Time. So shop those deals, and happy creating. So we'll be back for part 2 in about an hour.
We will. Thank you so much. We'll see you then.
Yay!